Talk about reinvention. Monica Glenny worked within the data accounting industry for over 30 years. Who would know that Mary Kay Cosmetics would satisfy the need that she had for years, and that need was to help women develop their small business? It's no wonder that Woman Magazine chose Monica Glenny to be one of the 25 powerful women to watch in the month of March 2021. Welcome to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. This podcast was created for the boomer woman leaving corporate, and now you're looking to reinvent yourself, become an author, an entrepreneur, a podcaster. Well, each episode will leave you with clarity. You will come away with the yes, I can and yes, I will reinvent myself mindset. So come on, let's do this. I'm your host, Margot Levette. I'm here with a powerful woman. Her name is Monica Glenny. And when we talk about the work that she has done, her body of work as far as being an entrepreneur and how it has moved the needle for other women, you're going to say, oh yeah, this is a woman that I want to know. This is a woman that I need to do business with. So welcome, Monica. Welcome, powerful lady.
Thank you so much, Margot. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it is wonderful to speak with a woman who's been an entrepreneur and has been involved with women one way or another for 30 plus years. I find that very exciting. Mm-hmm. So, Monica, can you take us back? Because you really started, we're both from the Midwest, as irony would have it, from the same hometown. Isn't my hometown, is Rockford your hometown?
Rockford is my hometown as well.
What is the likelihood of something like that? Oh my goodness! I just had to let the world know that Rockford is here and doing some marvelous things. But let's take it back to DataCraft Incorporated, right there in Rockford, Illinois, where you started it was with data and accounting.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like you were able to help raise small businesses, and I mean, move them from small business as far as revenue to making some pretty decent money. So will you take us back on that journey so that people can understand you're not a novice? You've been doing some big work for a long time.
Right. So when I graduated from college with an accounting degree, I needed some summertime work to fill a gap between taking those rigorous exams, the CPA and the CMA exam. And the owner of DataCraft at the time offered me a part-time job where I could come in and do bookkeeping and support small companies that were the clients. And that's where I got a taste of entrepreneurism through the owner, and then also with working with these small businesses. None of those businesses were women owned. And in fact, there was one client that was an exclusively male club. And I just thought someday, I'm either going to be a member of that club or I'm going to be doing work for that club and show those guys.
Yes. Oh, and didn't you show them? So take us on. I didn't mean to jump in, but that just sounds so juicy. I'm going to be a part of that club. I'm going to do something about it. Yes. So take us on.
Yes. So then I went into public accounting for 5 years, highly dominated by the men, and worked there, learned a lot about small companies in the Rockford area, a lot of names that you probably wouldn't recognize, Margot, as having grown up in Rockford. And worked with them, got to visit a lot of companies, learn about different styles of management, different styles of running companies. And then I decided I was really tired of public accounting because we were looking at things after the fact. I really wanted to get into the detail of operating a company. And that's when I moved to the small steel company, Leibovich Brothers in Rockford. And I was the controller there for 5 years. And again, learned a lot about business from the inside, working with the owners and my boss, VP of Finance. and just a lot about, I call it genealogy and family business all in one, because there were so many family members that owned that company, and just learned a lot and had an opportunity kind of during those years. My father worked for Datacraft all of those years and had an opportunity with the owner. He was thinking about retiring, and he talked to us about, when I retire, are you interested in going into business, the two of you, my father and I? And as fate would have it, in 1994, he was a workaholic. The owner was a workaholic. He was at work on a Sunday evening and had a heart attack and actually died at work. So my father and I were faced with a decision. Do we purchase this business now, or do we just miss the opportunity? I was pregnant at the time with my second daughter, and my family bought a family farm. My sister got married. I had a baby. We bought a business. It was a crazy year. So that's when I circled back to Datacraft and really had a passion. I really wanted to support small business because I've grown up all my life working in and around small businesses. And I particularly wanted to work with small business owners that were women. And unfortunately, during those 20 some years, I had very little opportunity to work with women-owned businesses because Rockford is such a manufacturing town. And most of those companies, not all, but most of them are owned by men. So I would go out to a client to meet with the president, who was a man, and usually was greeted by the receptionist or the greeter, who was a woman. And she probably wasn't very happy to see me because I was there to change their systems and things, the way they were doing things. So that kind of bothered me over those years, that I was helping small business, but I wasn't helping women in the way that I really wanted to. So enter Mary Kay. I got into it just really as a way to bond with my daughter, my younger daughter, who was 17 at the time, and do makeup together with her. And I realized this is a huge opportunity for women and for me. And I'm just going to go at it more as a full-time thing. So I did that with Datacraft for about 3 years. Then my father retired. A couple of the women that were working for us wanted to retire. I didn't have any desire to go backwards into the accounting world. I wanted to go forwards into the entrepreneurial Mary Kay world. And so that's in 2015. That's when we got rid of the business, sold it, and I became full-time Mary Kay consultant, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
Talking about reinvention first of all, you were part of a whirlwind year, baby,
Yes.
pregnancy, father, faced with, are we going to buy this business or we're not? But I love the fact that in this highly male-dominated world that you majored in and worked in, you always had a heart for women. And yeah, Rockford is a highly manufacturing town. And I can imagine it was hard to find women that were trying to get your assistance as far as help me with my business. What do we do here? How do we generate the funds? But then you move to Mary Kay. And as I look at what you've done there, you didn't stand still with Mary Kay either. You took on their mission of, and let me see, the company mission of enriching the lives of women and their families around the world. So, Monica, you found Mary Kay to really be a global business, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. We don't have territories in Mary Kay. We can work at a certain level. We can work within the U.S., and then as we advance, we can work around the world. And I just have a heart for that mission, that they're enriching women's lives and the families. Even if a woman is just making a couple $100 a month extra to add to her household income, that can be a huge impact. Or if they want to become a full-blown entrepreneur and have their own business and build a team and a network under them, they can do that as well. It's their choice. Wow. And I love the flexibility and freedom that it offers.
And as a mom, especially, that's very,
Mhm.
very important.
Mhm.
I'm thinking as we are coming out of, it seems as though we are coming out of this pandemic. This time last year, we were on total lockdown. Everything came to a screeching halt. I'll bet you were very glad that you were established already within the Mary Kay organization. So then it didn't find you scrambling. But my question is, you're trained in advanced color and advanced skin care consultation. When the pandemic hit, how did you just kind of stretch out your knowledge base and spring into action to help other women?
That's a great question, Margot. We all in Mary Kay had to pivot in a big way because our business from the beginning in 1963 has always been a face-to-face business. We sit knee to knee, toe to toe, talking to women and learning their hopes and dreams, as well as giving them a facial and a makeover. We learn a lot about the woman that we're sitting with. And so we had to go virtual with all of that. And you don't get as much of a personal interaction virtually as you do. We try as hard as we can, but we went virtual, and it's really expanded my footprint because now I'm not meeting face to face. I can reach out to you where you are in California and, just all over the US. So my goal this year is to reach women in every state and work with them, even Alaska and Hawaii. So I'm excited about that goal.
There's no reason why you can't. Do you foresee ever going back to the knee, to the toe to toe, or will you pretty much kind of balance out virtual and the in face to face? What do you see as far as what you've established,
Mhm.
the longevity of it?
I think we'll see both. I look for the day that we are back face to face, knee to knee, toe to toe, and because you get that body language and the tone better when you're face to face with a person. But I think we'll still have that virtual space as well because it's expanded our world so much.
And so many people, I know I'm one of them. I'm going to wear a mask this time next year. I'm getting the vaccine. I'll still have the mask this time next
Hmm.
year. I think that a lot of people are going to feel that way, especially if we have an ebb and flow in and out of the variants. That's just my thought. But you do a polished and professional consultation. That's a method that you have
Hmm.
created. So tell us all about that, Monica Glenny.
Well, I work with the woman and try to understand her personality and what would work best. I want to not be too flashy in the business world, but there are times that we want to be flashy for, if you're a creative person, that fits your personality and your style a little bit more in your profession. Then we look at that and we work through what would work with your culture of your business, and whether it's the creative side, a little more flashy, a little bit more fun, or if it's more of the conservative side, maybe an attorney or an accountant, then we tone it down a little bit. So
Gotcha.
that's the way I work with them with my polished and professional method.
And so it's everything, nothing's cookie cutter. That's what I
Right,
pick up. Now,
right.
as much as possible, you hone into the lifestyle, into the entrepreneurial spirit, you hone into that woman. So since when you get that close and that knowing of a person, do you find that the way we care for ourselves, the way we choose to present ourselves to the world makes all the difference, heads and tails above everything for a woman?
I think so, yes. What I can tell when I did a virtual makeover just a couple of weeks ago with a woman in Chicago, and she was going back and forth from a little tiny mirror and she would get up and say, I have to go to the big mirror and look. And she went, when we were finished with the makeover, she went to the big mirror in the other room, and I could hear her go, oh. And I just knew I had hit it right with her. And she felt, I want to make a woman feel more beautiful, more powerful, more confident, more courageous, and just have that polished and professional feeling that they can, that they are powerful and they can take on the world.
some lipstick, getting your eyebrows done, it works
Mhm.
wonders.
It
Oh
sure
my
does.
goodness. The way you present yourself. And then you take us inside as far as skincare. It's not just our makeup, but you are
Mhm.
also a professional when it comes to skincare. Everyone's skin is not the same. Do you find that since we've been inside for so long and, in and out a little bit, do people experience a change in their skin because of what's going on in the world? I don't know why I'm asking that question, but it just I've noticed a change. I'm wondering if, am I the only one in the world?
Yeah, well, we have what's called maskne now, people getting acne because the mask is on their face, and a little bit more dryness, and the stress just affects our skin. If we're starting to develop those fine lines and wrinkles around our eyes and our mouth, that stress just adds to it. So it's important to take, like you say, take good care of yourself with the skincare, with vitamins, with your food, with your drinking lots of water. All of those things are important. Just that general self-care.
Mhm. Sounds like you are a consultant that deals with the woman from the inside out, the way you would approach a small business. You wanted to care for them inside out, the inside inner workings of that small business. You care about the inner workings of each consultation that you have with your customers, with your clients at Mary Kay.
I do. That's a lovely way to say it. Thank you.
Well, I pick up on that. And I don't think if you were just give me the money, you wouldn't have lasted as long as you have in
hmm
Mary Kay. You would not have empowered as many women to become entrepreneurs through this company. So it's very important that we connect with people such as yourself for our skincare. Someone who cares for us.
hmm
You help us with this know, like, and trust thing because of your footprint. So I personally want to say thank you. And if a person wants to get in contact with you, and I'm not sure that this is the place for it, but I'm just going to ask anyway. A person wants to get in contact with you. Perhaps they want to become a Mary Kay consultant.
hmm
Perhaps they just want to get some more information, or they say, hey, um, I need this polished and professional consultation. I need it today. Monica, can you help me? I raise my hand. How do people get in contact with you?
They can email me at monicaglenny@gmail.com, or they can reach out by text or telephone 815-988-0913. Either of those ways are great. And I'm on LinkedIn. You can just find me under my name on LinkedIn as well.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I just have one final question. Do you find, Monica, that you yourself as an entrepreneur and the ladies that you work with, do you find that we really don't understand what we have inside of ourselves and use it? Because I'm thinking back, had you not been in a place of understanding that, for one, I'm a top-notch accountant. I know data craft. I know this. I want to work with women, but this industry that I'm in, I'm willing to go into it and make the differences that I can. Are you finding that a lot of women do not own their power, their strength? What can we do about that? I guess it's a two-pronged question, and I promise those are my final questions.
Yes, I do find that women don't understand the power that's within them. In fact, Mary Kay Ash always said, if just one more woman discovers her greatness today, it's a good day. And I think we try as Mary Kay consultants to, when we're sitting with women or virtually sitting with them, that we try to tune into what's going on in their lives. And it's amazing sometimes. I feel almost like a therapist hearing some of the things that people tell me, and I try to bounce that back to them and encourage them in their lives.
I believe that. I believe that. Read a statistic. There are 2 million women that were out displaced or had to leave the
Mm.
workforce last year, and that was alarming. So we need to know that there are people such as yourself representing Mary Kay And it's possibly it's a door for somebody.
Mhm.
Monica Glenny, oh my goodness, a powerful woman who is an independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay Incorporated. You know, I used to think that Mary Kay and Avon and, rival companies were for the oldsters. But you guys are bringing, Mary Kay is coming on around, and I'm loving what I see. So thank you for spending this time with me, and thank you for being a powerful woman here at WOMEL. I'm Margot Levat. Had a wonderful conversation with Monica Glenny, and I'll see you at the next conversation. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do. Right now, go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.